This is part 2 of the instrument dashboard tutorial. In this video, we will cover the AV9000 analyzer module with Sigma submerged AV sensor. In the lower right-hand corner of the dashboard, you can see your sensor connection status and port assignments. You must have a sensor connected to perform calibrations, but all the other sensor settings can be updated without a sensor connected. We are going to assume that the AV9000 and AV sensor are connected to the logger. Here is a list of channels we suggest you log. If you want to make changes back under the General Settings tab, you may pause the video now. Okay, now that everything is set to log, select the Sensors tab to begin configuring the sensor. If the AV9000 is not selected in the pull-down list, be sure to select it now. At this point, you have two options. You can use the Setup Wizard, or you can choose to manually configure sensor settings. The Setup Wizard will walk us through the first two tabs called out here. The configuration options available on these first two tabs will satisfy the installation and setup requirements of most users. Let's go through the Setup Wizard now. Enter the flow settings by selecting the channel geometry and entering the appropriate dimensions. Select the method of calibration you would like to perform. The illustration depicts the choices. Select Next, and the instrument will force a reading. Select Retry to repeat if the level value displayed here does not closely match your physical measured level. Review the setup results. Click Finish, then write to Logger to complete the setup process. It is best practice to verify the calibration at this point. To do so, select the Diagnostics tab here. Select the AV9000 sensor from the pull-down list if it isn't already selected. Left mouse click on the Take Measurement button. When the Take Measurement button is selected, it forces the sensor to take a measurement and display the results in the panel here. A successful measurement will look like this. Make sure the values populated make sense to you. The button labeled Log Diagnostics enables sensor diagnostics logging on the connected logger. This means that for the duration chosen on the right, all FFT, quality parameters, and sub-measurements will be recorded as part of the data log. The diagnostic files logged can be viewed in the downloaded file in FSDATA desktop or on the web with FSDATA if the logger is wireless enabled. I will now point out the features and functionality of the remaining buttons and controls found in the Sensors tab. Restore Sensor will clear all input fields and return all sensor settings to a fresh state. Use this feature only if you want to completely start from scratch. Units will enable you to override the preferred units for level, velocity, and flow in the AV9000 Program Settings menu for this session only. The Basic Setup tab will allow you to input a sensor offset, level calibration, and sediment level. To perform a manual pressure sensor calibration, you can choose either of the following methods. Method 1. Click the Calculate button found just to the right of the level calibration input field and follow the on-screen instructions. Method 2. Enter the level measured in the channel and then click Write to Logger. The Flow Setup tab provides the input fields for the primary device, or more specifically, the channel geometry and flow calculation method. In greater than 90% of all installations, the basic setup and Flow Setup tabs are the only tabs that are needed. In sites with difficult hydraulics or less than ideal site conditions, it may be necessary to make adjustments to the Advanced and/or Tech Support Settings tabs. The Advanced Settings and Tech Support Settings tabs are typically only used by the most advanced users or under the guidance and advice of Hach Tech Support. Within these tabs are settings that can fine-tune an AV9000's performance in the most difficult of sites. Remember to select Write to Logger to complete your programming changes by sending the settings to the logger. For more detailed information on any of the features mentioned in this video, check for specific individual videos in the list on the webpage.